MB. Mr. Brown, are you pleased with the outcome?
Absolutely. I think the American justice system is the greatest in the world.
Your soul is required in hell!
It's been over 30 years since New Jack City debuted on the silver screen. Stolid and visceral, the film didn't shy away from the truth about New York City's drug scene during the 1980s. The plot follows the reign of Nino Brown and his Cash Money Brothers crew, dominating the city. While the movie is based on an original story, its impact flickers to life with the captivating performances we get to see from the cast. Having Wesley Snipes play Nino Brown was absolutely critical to the plot. Actually, the then 29-year-old actor wanted the role of the detective, Scotty Appleton.
A lot has changed.
Watch him from the side when you're doing the whole mammogram thing.
Yes.
I was like, yes.
But Mario Van Peebles, the movie's director, insisted that he play Nino because it was specifically written for him. But before Wesley became the face of the crime genre, he was performing in theater on Broadway. In his time on stage and his appearances as an extra in a few soap operas, he caught the attention of a casting director and was invited to audition for his first feature film role in Wildcats. From there, he quickly began picking up momentum with performances in The Last Dragon and Miami Vice. He went from being typecast as an athlete to being typecast as a mob boss until he settled for an action hero in Passenger 57. Suffice it to say, this man has taken on every role under the sun, even performing as a dancer in Michael Jackson's music videos. In his own words, certain roles are more challenging than others, but I haven't encountered one yet that I can't tackle. Though he did manage to amass a fortune of $10 million, his wealth came at a price, and in 2010, Wesley was sentenced to 3 years in prison for tax evasion. When released in 2013, he resumed his acting career as if nothing had happened. He kept the past in the past and strived to make the most out of his career. At 61 years of age, he is still on the trajectory of taking on challenging roles. His performance as Luther in Back on the Strip and Carlton in True Story indicate that he is on the right track. In New Jack City, Wesley initially wanted to take on the role of undercover detective Scotty Appleton, who was driven by a strong desire for revenge against Nino Brown. While Wesley didn't land that role, it was placed in the hands of a man just as capable.
Not because my name is Ice-T, I just prefer tea.
Ice-T. Tracy Morrow was born on February 16, 1958, in the streets of New Jersey. Morrow was a rapper, as his pseudonym might suggest. Before taking on cinema, he was pretty big on the hip-hop scene. So big, in fact, that when he was offered the role of Scotty at 33, he almost didn't accept it because he thought that if the film didn't do well, it would have drowned his music career. But the gamble paid off and introduced him as a breakout actor in Hollywood. From there, he would go on to star in films like Ricochet, Trespass, and Surviving the Game, and establish his credibility as an actor. He delved into reality television with Ice-T's Rap School in 2006, and later starred in Ice Loves Coco, a show featuring his wife Nicole Austin in 2011. At 65, he has built an extensive filmography, most notably with his 516-episode streak on Law & Order SVU. He enjoys his net worth of $65 million, but these days, he is more concerned about being a better father to his daughter, Chanel Merrill. If there is anyone that can rival Ice-T's screen time,
Floyd, you out here serving mad cow in these streets?
it's Alan Payne. Growing up in Harlem, Payne was no stranger to the drug epidemic of New York, and this made him an ideal choice to take on the mantle of Gerald G. Money Wells, the drug lord's trusted right-hand man. It proved to be the 23-year-old's big break, and he soon found himself on The Cosby Show between 1990 and 1992. From there, he would only pick up more momentum and shift to the big screen, with exhilarating performances in Vampire in Brooklyn, The Perfect Storm, and Crossover. But his most iconic role was that of C.J. Payne, the caring father and diligent husband in the TBS sitcom series Tyler Perry's House of Payne, which ran from 2006 to 2012. He did reprise the role of CJ in the show's rerun in 2020, appearing in a total of 292 episodes, certainly enough to give Ice-T a run for his money. Today, at 55 years old, he is still an integral part of the show's cast. He is a reasonably wealthy man with a net worth of $5 million and enjoys his free time with his lovely wife, Janine. If there is one person you want to star as a New Yorker in a crack epidemic...
Wife's still mad at you, ain't she?
I really like to fight for jobs. I hate the feeling of suddenly being like, you know, Kristen can have it because she'll, you know what I mean?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's Chris Rock. If you recall, Chris played Pookie, the crack addict who transformed into an informant. But in stark contrast to the character of Pookie, Rock's career has soared in recent years. He was only 26 at the time, but he went on to achieve notable success not only as a comedian, but also as an actor, starring in movies like Nurse Betty, Down to Earth, Everybody Hates Chris, and Grown Ups. Being a comedian at heart, he never stopped making public appearances. He hosted the 2016 Oscars and made guest appearances on the popular Fox TV series Empire and Saturday Night Live. Sometimes his sharp and provocative humor has occasionally faced criticism or sparked debate due to jokes or remarks made during his stand-up performances or public appearances, like the time he joked about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. We all know how that ended. But a few hiccups aside, the 58-year-old has had a remarkable career, and his $60 million net worth definitely goes to prove that. He has 2 children from his ex-wife, Malak Compton, whom he divorced in 2016. Unlike Chris, however,
when I had juice from New Jack City as a director,
Mario Van Peebles tries to avoid controversy at all times. Son of director Melvin Van Peebles and German actress Maria Marx, his movie debut came when he was 13. In his father's 1971 film Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, 1971, in which he played a love scene with an older woman. Van Peebles not only played Stone in New Jack City, but also led the film as its director, despite being only 34 at the time. He has excelled in both the field of acting and directing, achieving remarkable success through his hard work and dedication. Despite New Jack City being an instant hit, the concept was nearly rejected by the studio. Upon presenting the screenplay to Warner Brothers, the studio liked the script, but had reservations about having an unknown director for the project.
This is pretty good. This is all right, you know.
Clint Eastwood personally advocated for Van Peebles, urging Warner Brothers to give the kid a shot. And so they did, and it definitely paid off. He has since gone on to direct numerous episodes for television series like Once Upon a Time and Empire, along with the more recent miniseries Roots. Mario prides himself on being both a creator and a performer, and his acting credits include roles such as Malcolm X in Ali, Samuel Woods in All My Children, and Agent Randall Harrison in Damages. And despite being 66, you can still catch him on the small screen in shows such as A Million Little Things and Salt and Pepper. He has a sizable net worth of $12 million to more than justify his prolific Hollywood career. Much like Mario, who has made his big break because of New Jack City.
Make sure I'm covered up here.
No, don't.
They want to see everything. Move it around here.
Actress Michael Michelle also credits her role as Selena in the 1991 blockbuster as her claim to fame. Transitioning from the film's success, the then 25-year-old ventured into television, co-starring in the series Dangerous Curves as Holly Williams. While Michelle was featured in a few films like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, her primary focus has always been on television acting. Her credits span shows like Central Park West, Homicide, Life on the Street, Kevin Hill, and Gossip Girl. Her most recent television appearance was in a 2022 episode of Dynasty as Dominique Devereaux. Outside of acting, Michelle has a very peaceful personal life. She welcomed her first son, Brandon, born on December 21, 2004. The child's father is Jimmy Rodriguez, and though the two aren't married, they clearly have a profound love for each other and their son. At 57, despite her net worth of $5 million, she is still active in the acting business, with her latest venture being in 2023's Drunk, Driving, and 17. New Jack City served as a cinematic milestone by exploring the rise and fall of a drug empire and the moral dilemmas surrounding law enforcement's fight against crime, a genre very few directors chose to delve into at the time. The success and acclaim it received turned people's attention to the drama such stories could carry, and is the reason we have shows like The Wire, Breaking Bad, and Power.